We got a great guest in studio here as we get ready for some Riveting Radio Real Estate with Don Pannell. Good morning.
Good morning.
How you doing?
I'm doing great.
Happy Friday out there.
Rainy Friday, which is kind of nice, actually. We need that.
First Friday of the month. The job numbers are out, but you also get numbers looking at how the real estate market was in July.
I'm as I've said, I'm not a real big statistics person, but it's kind of interesting.
Sure.
So in Shelton, in that Shelton market, in July there were 15 active listings for a median price of $269,999, which is kind of interesting, and 17 pending. So again, more pending than there are active, which is an indication of how the inventory is going, which is still under a month's worth of inventory. So 17 pending for a median price of $209. So that's kind of interesting. The active price is basically $270, and the pending price is $210, basically. So
if a person's hearing this and they hear that there's low inventory, short on that 30 days cycle, you would probably encourage them to find a place first to start the process of buying something new before they start listing. Because
yes. Although first is to check out your financing,
right? But
yeah, it's always a good idea. We've had a couple of cases where people's house gets sold out from under them and they don't have any place to go.
Wow.
So yeah, within this tight market, it's a good idea to get all those ducks in a row. There were 15 sold in July for a median price of $188. So again, that price is dropping from the difference between active price and sold price. For the quarter, they also gave me the 6-month comparison, which was kind of interesting. There were 52 active for a median price of $227, 46 pending. So again, a little bit fewer there. 39 sold. So, but again, and the numbers are kind of trending in the same direction. So again, 0.9 months of inventory.
Wow.
So still a good time to put your house on the market.
You got a listing for us to talk about here. When you check out the video, when we post this on iFiber1newsradio.com and our Facebook page, you'll be able to see this beautiful listing here.
It is absolutely gorgeous. It's out on Terry Lynn Lane, which is out opposite of Spencer Lake area. You turn left right past Spencer Lake and go down kind of a gravel road, and it's down there. It's a acre and a quarter of property, which is absolutely spectacularly landscaped. It's there's a gazebo that's got power to it, so there's a chandelier hanging in the middle of this gazebo.
Wow.
All underground sprinkling. There's an organic garden and fruit trees and just beautiful lawn area.
And you were saying geothermal heating and electronics?
What does that mean?
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. I had to look it up to get information on it. And what it is they use the energy in the ground, which doesn't vary much, to either heat or cool depending on the difference between the ground temperature and the house temperature.
I mean, to me, that sounds like it would have been kind of like a Hobbit home, something built into a mountain
Right. So it's along the same lines of solar, only it's using the ground instead of the.
That's incredible. I never heard of that.
Yeah, the furnace it's got all of these pipes and everything running all over it. It's pretty high end and pretty efficient.
So what would that do for someone's energy bill? Or
should be these people say their energy bill is really great. I mean, they basically don't use much. They have backup electrical heating in some of the rooms. They have a mini split there's a hot tub room that has a sunken hot tub in it, and then the most gorgeous fireplace I think I've ever seen in my life.
That looks like it's a lodge or something,
Yeah, it's all stacked stone, and then along the side it's got kind of a live edge granite bench seat along the side of it. It absolutely spectacular. It's right off the master bedroom, and so you go out through these kind of French doors into this room.
That hot tub.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
I saw that.
I asked them about that because sometimes when you have an indoor hot tub, you run into problems with moisture, and they've got this really cool. There's a mini split heat pump in that room to heat that room because it's an addition, and they've got this really cool fan system that also is a moisture sensor. So anytime it detects moisture in the air from the hot tub, it automatically turns the exhaust fan on.
Soaking that after a long, grueling day already, huh?
Wouldn't that be something? And then sit by the fireplace, and then it goes out onto this deck that's ipe wood, and I had never heard of that before either. And it's a kind of hardwood, but it resists rot, resists mold, mildew, all of that kind of stuff.
Wow.
And the floors in this place are absolutely spectacular. You walk in, and the whole house is teak floors. Gorgeous floors.
Huh.
And they have two fireplaces, the one in the hot tub room, and then there's also one in the living room. And they are wood burning right now, but the house is plumbed for propane. The current owners just decided they didn't want propane, so but the house is ready for that, so you could easily convert those fireplaces.
I thought of everything.
And very quiet. Looks like it says cul-de-sac, dead-end street, secluded, so somebody who wants some privacy and not a lot of traffic.
Right, yeah, because there's just the houses that are down that road. It's actually on a private road. It's a shared well with the neighbor across the street, and then it's got its own septic system. And then there's a really cool fountain right outside the kitchen window that you can look out and watch the water. It's really
spectacular.
They're going to leave that. Yeah, it is absolutely a stunning house. We've got it listed for $449. It's 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, but again, really nice sized rooms, and really, really well done. Vaulted ceilings. You walk into this grand kind of entrance and see these floors, and each room, every room has a ceiling fan in it, and it is very nice. I would love to show it to some folks, or
sure.
if you're interested in buying it, call your agent and have them get out there and take a look at it.
So Spencer and I were talking, and we've been talking, I think, with you a little bit about this too, but when it comes to showing a home or listing a home, there's got to be some sort of unwritten etiquette rules on both the showers and the viewers of these things. You see a place like this, and you may linger a bit longer than the
and if
people
somebody's
want.
interested or a serious looker, buyer, I have no problem with it. But we were selling our house in California when it was 114 degrees, and they knew my wife had migraines. They knew we had to pack 2 dogs and 6 kids into a minivan, and get out for a while and just kind of circle around or park somewhere with the air on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And a lot of times it was a very last-minute notice, and they knew what we were doing, and kind of the inconvenience of it, which I know comes with selling a house. But is there any unspoken rule about that where you shouldn't just kind of dilly-dally? And I mean, if you're like a serious buyer, but if you're just sitting there chewing the fat with the real estate agent while there's a family in a car in 115-degree temperatures, that's kind of rude.
Eating the Rice Krispie treats or whatever you lay out.
I would think that they would. Usually, what I try and do is talk to the sellers and put that kind of information in the listing. There's a space in there for agent-only remarks, and so like in this case, we need notice so that the people can make arrangements to leave. You can't just show up on the front door and say, here I am. So you put that notice in there, and if it's in there, then the agents are supposed to abide by that.
Yeah.
Sometimes they don't, unfortunately, but if they don't, then we have a way of kind of calling them out on that. And sometimes we'll say, must have 3 hours notice, must have a full day's notice, depending. And then we could also say, hey, the family is 6 kids and 4 dogs or whatever. So please be quick, respectful of that. You don't want them to be so quick that they don't see the house.
Yeah, of course.
But if they're a serious, you can usually tell if they're a serious buyer or not. We talked about if they come in and start putting their furniture in, you kind of know that they're serious about this. See their current
furniture in this new place. This is where this would go.
Right. Like well, and they always say if somebody actually sits down, that's usually a good sign.
Oh, interesting.
How often do sellers leave secret messages for the new buyers if they've had a bad experience with the buyers, like just things in the walls or under the?
Right. You've seen that where maybe they'll replace the carpet and there's a paint. Then red paint,
with an outline of a body or something.
I mean, does that actually happen, or is that just on Instagram? I mean,
people do that for real?
I actually sold a house one time where the seller said that somebody had died in the house. Well, that's not a material defect, so it's not something that's required to be said. So we just didn't say that. But if somebody asked,
sure.
then you would have to say. But you don't need to do the outline of the body on the floor.
Right, as a practical joke.
Yeah, right.
You can, though.
But you can, I guess. As you leave, you say...
Depending on whether you want to sell your house or not, I guess.
We had a time capsule treasure chest, but I'll be darned if I can remember where we put it. Good luck to you.
I actually saw a listing one time where they said in the agent-only remarks that there are urns in the basement with Grandma and Grandpa's ashes in it.
Oh, wow.
And I thought, okay, first of all, why would you say that? And second of all, why wouldn't you take those with you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
So it's interesting, some of the things that happen, but we try and be respectful as a real estate agent. We try and be respectful of both the buyer and the seller, and to make sure that we don't have people sitting out in 114 degree temperatures.
Sure.
There's really no rule that says that the seller has to be gone during the showing. It's usually easier if they are, but if they absolutely can't be, then the buyers just have to.
Yeah, we were given that option. I always thought it was awkward, though. Like if
Yeah.
I'm looking at a house, you want to be honest with your real estate agent and
Right.
stuff. You know what I mean? You can't
Right.
really point things out
Right.
as much when the family's sitting there, like
It is definitely it's definitely preferred that they leave, but there are
Sure,
cases
sure.
when they absolutely can't. So we just have to be respectful of that. I mean, these folks the sellers are selling something that they have an emotional attachment
Sure.
to. The buyers are looking for something that they can have an emotional
Sure.
attachment to. So it's a fine line sometimes walking.
How can folks get in touch with you, Don?
They can call me at 360-490-4493 or come and see me on the corner of 3rd and Railroad, and I would love to talk with you about this house or any other house you might want to look at.
Sounds good. Good to see you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Great job at Pancakes in the Park this week, too. That was a lot
great.
of fun.
That is a lot of
We
fun.
had a good time out there.
Yeah.